Captain Elias Voss stood on the bridge of the Archangel, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration ship, staring out into the infinite expanse of stars. For years, he had led his crew through the unknown, cataloging new planets, meeting alien civilizations, and expanding the reach of humanity. But this mission was different. This time, they were called to meet something ancient, something powerful. The message had come from a dying star system, light years away from the nearest human colony. A single transmission, repeated across thousands of frequencies, in a language barely comprehensible. It had simply said, "Come, the last one waits." They found him at the edge of a decaying planet orbiting a dying sun, alone, a towering alien figure, withered and ancient, sat upon a stone throne at the center of a crumbling ruin. His skin was like cracked stone, his eyes dimming, but there was something vast and powerful in his presence, a being who had seen eons pass. "Why did you call us?" Voss asked, stepping forward, flanked by his crew. The alien being's voice, though weak, carried an undeniable authority. "I have watched your kind from afar," he rasped. "You, humans, you are different from the others. They come, they conquer, they vanish. But you endure." Voss listened intently, unsure where the conversation was leading. "Many millennia ago, I was like you," the alien continued, young, eager, full of fire. "But time wears on the soul, and now I am the last of my kind. I called you here because you will live a long life, human, longer than you can imagine." Voss frowned. "What do you mean?" "Your kind will survive when others have crumbled to dust. You will outlast the stars themselves, because of your will to fight, to evolve. When even the gods of the galaxy fall, humans will still remain. You will carry the legacy of all who came before." The alien's body trembled as if it were about to disintegrate, but his voice remained strong. "I have seen it. You will live a long, long life." With that, the ancient being collapsed into dust, leaving behind nothing but silence. Voss stood there, shaken. He had come to expect death in the vastness of space, but this was something different. The idea that humanity's destiny was not only to survive, but to endure the rise and fall of civilizations, of galaxies, seemed both terrifying and empowering. As Voss turned back to his ship, his mind raced. He would report back to Earth, of course, but deep down, he knew the truth now. Humanity was eternal, and they would live a long, long life. Still human, humanity had changed. Centuries of genetic engineering, cybernetic enhancements, and intergalactic travel had altered the species in ways that seemed unimaginable to their ancestors. The human body had become a flexible, canvas stronger, faster, more resilient. Many had augmented themselves beyond a recognition, blending the biological with the mechanical to become something more than human. But Corporal Arden Hale remained old-fashioned. He refused the invasive augmentations. He kept his body the way it was meant to be, flesh, bone, and blood. It wasn't that he was afraid of technology after all. He was a soldier who piloted one of the most advanced combat suits in the galaxy. But to him, humanity wasn't just about physical enhancement. It was about spirit, will, and heart. The Consortium War had raged for years. Alien races sought to bend humanity under their control, to force them into submission. But time and again, humanity had fought back, showing an indomitable strength that no other species could understand. Arden found himself at the front lines, deep in the trenches of a Francine moon, facing a new alien foe, Thraxians. These towering insect-like creatures were superior in almost every way, faster, stronger, with regenerative abilities that made them nearly impossible to kill. Yet here was Arden, standing at the front, alongside his squad, many of whom had undergone enhancements to survive this brutal war. Arden was the last of the unmodified humans in his unit, yet his reputation as one of the deadliest soldiers was unquestioned. "Why don't you upgrade?" Sergeant Vickers, his augmented teammate, asked him one day as they hunkered down in the ice-covered trench. "You could fight longer, be faster. They'd give you anything you wanted." Arden glanced at Vickers, his eyes hard but not without humor. "Because I'm still human." Vickers smirked, shaking his head. "You're missing out, man." But Arden wasn't. In the heat of battle, when Thraxians overwhelmed their lines, when all seemed lost, it wasn't Arden's strength or speed that made him stand out. It was his instinctual understanding of what it meant to be human. To him, The modifications others embraced seemed to dull the raw, primal edge that had allowed humanity to survive against insurmountable odds. In the thick of the fight, Arden moved with purpose, taking down Thraxion after Thraxion with precision and grit. He didn't need enhancements to fight like a machine. His humanity, his determination, was enough. And when the battle ended, his squad stood victorious, bloodied but alive. As they regrouped, Vicus looked at Arden, respect in his eyes. Maybe being still human isn't so bad after all. Years had passed since Captain Elias Voss encountered the ancient being who foretold humanity's long, enduring future. The memory of the encounter haunted him, driving his curiosity. Humanity had thrived since that day, expanding into deeper reaches of space, colonizing distant worlds, and forming alliances with new species. The prophecy had become a quiet undercurrent in his mind, reminding him that humans were destined for something far greater than anyone realized. One day, the prophecy was tested. Humanity had established contact with the Solari, an enigmatic race whose technology and understanding of the universe far surpassed any other. The Solari were keepers of the old ways, their civilization nearly as ancient as the stars themselves, but they were cautious, secretive, and they viewed younger species with distrust. Yet, something about humanity intrigued them. They saw in humans a raw potential, perhaps even the shadow of what they themselves had once been. Voss, now a senior diplomat for Earth's Interstellar Council, was sent to represent humanity in the first formal meeting with the Solari. It was a momentous occasion only that could change the course of history. The Solari greeted Voss in their towering citadel, nestled on a planet where the atmosphere glowed a faint green. The air buzzed with energy, as if the very planet hummed with ancient power. Voss walked through the grand halls, feeling the weight of ages pressing down on him. "You are the one," a Solari elder spoke, his voice low and ancient. "The one who saw the last of the old, the one who was told of your kind's long life." Voss hesitated. How did they know? He had never spoken of the encounter to anyone outside of Earth's highest councils. "I was told humanity would live a long life," Voss replied carefully, studying the elder, "that we would endure." The elder's eyes glowed with a soft light. "Yes, but you are not yet prepared for the truth of what that means." Voss narrowed his eyes. "What truth?" The elder gestured, and a holographic star map appeared before them. It showed the galaxy, as it was now full of life and bustling with countless species. Then, it shifted, the stars dimming, the planets flickering out of existence, one by one, until only a few systems remained. One system still shone bright, humanity's. "The galaxy will change," the elder said gravely. "The old ones will fall, the young ones will fade, but humanity will remain. You are destined not just to live, but to inherit all that we leave behind." Voss' heart pounded in his chest. "Why us?" "Because in your core, there is something that none of the others possess," the elder said, "a drive to survive, to adapt, to evolve in ways that transcend even our understanding. You are the future, Elias Voss. Humanity will carry the torch of the galaxy." Voss felt the weight of the universe settle on his shoulders, but also a deep, quiet pride. The Solari, with all their ancient wisdom, saw what that alien being had long ago. Humans were not just survivors, they were the next inheritors of the stars. As Voss prepared to leave the Solari world, he turned back to the elder. "Will we be ready when the time comes?" The elder smiled faintly. "You will be. Still human." The war between humanity and the Thraxians had ended in victory, but the aftermath left the galaxy in turmoil. The Thraxians were defeated, but the cost had been high. The galaxy was now teeming with whispers of other species rising against humans, those who feared the unrelenting drive of humanity and the fact that they were, despite their vulnerabilities, still the dominant force. For Corporal Arden Hale, life on the front lines had changed. His refusal to undergo enhancements had made him a legend in his own right, but with the war behind him, he now faced a different kind of battle struggle to retain humanity's essence in a galaxy that was rapidly becoming more artificial, more technological, and more detached from what it meant to be human. One day, as Arden returned to his home colony on Mars, a high-ranking official from Earth's military approached him with an unusual request. "We need you, Corporal," the official said. There's something happening on the outskirts of the Helios cluster. We've received reports that a group of post-human extremists have broken away from our colonies and are using their enhancements to establish their own rule. They're calling themselves hfy Ascended. Arden frowned. Post-humans. They've pushed the boundaries of augmentation beyond anything we've ever seen. Their leader, Silas Kane, was one of our brightest, but he's gone too far. He believes humanity should evolve beyond its current form, and he's started a movement. They're targeting colonies, especially those who refuse augmentation. Arden felt a chill run down his spine. And you want me to stop him? The official nodded. We need someone who represents what it means to still be human. You're living proof that we don't need to become something else to survive. We need you to remind them of that. Arden reluctantly agreed, and within days, he found himself deep in the Helios cluster, facing off against a battalion of the Ascended. Silas Kane, a towering figure with glowing cybernetic enhancements and augmented limbs, stood at the heart of the rebellion. You're just flesh and bone, Kane sneered when he saw Arden. You're a relic of the past, Corporal. Humanity has evolved beyond you. Why cling to your weaknesses when you could become something more? Arden stood his ground, because being human isn't a weakness, it's our strength. You've forgotten what it means to fight with heart, with instinct. You think enhancements make you better, but you've lost what makes us who we are. Kane laughed coldly. Then let's see if your human spirit can stand against true evolution. The battle that followed was fierce. The Ascended were faster, stronger, and seemingly unstoppable, but Arden fought with a determination they couldn't match. He didn't rely on enhancements, relied on his experience, his instincts, and his understanding of what it meant to fight as a human. One by one, the Ascended fell, and, when Arden finally faced Kane in hand-to-hand combat, it was clear who the victor would be. Despite all his augmentations, Kane couldn't break Arden's resolve. You'll never win, Kane gasped, his enhancements sparking as he lay on the ground.